for joining my new show. By the way, before I go for other questions, have you had the chance to download the Neo browser?
I did, yes. I did try it out. It's pretty neat. The interface is pretty simple, straightforward, and intuitive. Yes. It was pretty light as well, like on resources.
Pretty light. Okay, so what other phrase would you give?
What other phrases? I think intuitive is the one.
Cute.
There's no
Okay.
like, yeah. I could just
Now
go
what
there
you
and
want?
ask. Yeah, I could just go there and ask what I want instead of like what's the URL, what's this and that. So,
Got it, got it. Okay, yeah, the AI browser has to be light, has to be cute, and then you talk about AI. Otherwise, it's not AI browser. So great.
yes.
So tell me a little about what you guys are doing, what your company is doing, and then we can start from there.
Yeah, so we basically provide an end-to-end agentic framework for enterprises. And at the core of it is basically we deal with a lot of data. So agents that use data to take some actions, answer questions, or whatever the use case might be. And that's our core, like enterprises with large amount of data who want to write agents for different use cases.
Got it, got it. And then um, when it comes to building agents, what kind of agents are we talking about?
Yeah, we've seen people build agents for different use cases using our framework. So, for example, we have customers who have built their own customer support chatbots using our stuff. Then there are some that have used it for building a knowledge-based question answering systems. And then on the other end, with financial system, we also have contract lifecycle management, claim processing, all kind of stuff. So it's all over the place. One place where we do focus more on is semiconductors as well, where companies have very complicated data, not simple, and then they also have data that's proprietary, which they cannot send to like cloud-based companies. So they use us to do failure analysis based on that historical data or question answering for their engineers to empower them more and make them more efficient.
That's interesting. So everyone's building aging these days, right? What makes your system apart? Because I talk to probably aging platform almost once a day, sometimes once a week, but sometimes even once a day. Like, what makes your aging platform unique?
Yeah, that's a good one, and we also come across the same question with some of our prospects. So basically, there are a few things. One is we focus a lot on use cases where there's a ton of data involved, because we have a very complicated ingestion pipeline and retrieval pipeline. So at ingestion time, for example, we have customers which data is like PDFs, PowerPoints, whatever, which contains text or images or flow charts, diagrams, tables, whatever there is. So how do you extract that in a way that you can answer that well? This is something we do extremely well, right? So now at query time, our retrieval is also pretty complicated. So what happens then is that the the context you feed to the LLM to produce the final answer is very curated to the point. That makes us much better than some of the other frameworks out there for this particular use case. Second is we have the ability to do SaaS, VPC, on-prem, hybrid, whatever our customers' demands are. And there are not a lot of people who do on-prem pretty well, and that's one of our major focuses. We are model agnostic. We do have our own models, but we can integrate with any models, which makes us like superior in the sense that we can use on-prem models or SaaS based. Lastly, I think one thing that I like a lot is our focus on API based platform. So from day one, whatever we did, our product was APIs. That makes us very easy to integrate with whatever solutions customers want, whatever they want to build, instead of like API being an afterthought. So that makes us pretty unique in this landscape.
Cool. What's the phase of your company? Like, how many people? Like, what is the phase?
Yeah, we have around 50 people, and then we did Series A, and in total we have raised around 53 million. We're still not planning to do Series B yet. We still have enough runway. We're just expanding our revenue. And then out of those around 50 people, a significant amount is engineering, including machine learning and backend development. So,
How many? So you said a majority. You mean 35, 40-ish kind of people are engineers?
Around that number, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I actually have a few questions regarding org design because it's AI era. You know, every CEO I talk to, they talk about new org, right? You know, AI era org is very different from the traditional org. I'm pretty sure you have been with a few, good organizations in the past. How do you see the organization, AI native company, going to look like moving forward?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I can answer because internally inside the company we have grown significantly to be AI native in the last couple of years. Specifically, my background is in engineering, so I used to use the like I used to write code. Basically, I wrote C++ at Google for 6 years, and then in this company as well, I was writing code to begin with, and then came all these coding assistants, right? I tried a lot of them and they were not good, right? But recently, the new releases, my goodness, they are good, right? So the way AI native for us is like basically we push our team to use more and more of these AI tools to be more efficient, right? So the engineers right now, they haven't been as productive as it's insane at the rate at which they're producing stuff. At the same time, of course, there are a lot of gotchas they need to be careful of. It's not just a matter of like you write the prompt and you're done. You still need a lot to do. So basically, for an AI native company, they need to think that everything starts from using AI basically, right? And then you are the one in control to tell it what to do and what not to do. But then start with AI. It's the same with our field engineering, same with our sales folks, same with finance. That start with that and see where it
Okay,
goes.
let me ask you a tough question. Maybe not tough at all. As a CEO, how's your life, completely different, completely differently today because of AI versus, let's say, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, so I think my life is more like
Keep in mind, a year and a half ago, ChatGPT was already pretty good. Okay, let's start with that assumption.
yes, yeah. I think some of the things that are getting better is basically I will tell you, like, for example, this week, one of the customers wanted a demo. So last year, I would have to go to some of the engineers, ask them to build a demo, and then wait for a few days, then give the demo, right? In this case, as CEO, I didn't tell them, oh, we'll get back to you. The same day, I just put everything in Claude, and in 2 hours, I had the demo to show them, right? Same goes for even
So
dealing.
what exactly happened in that case? You instructed Claude to do what, and then you got what?
Yeah, so in that case, basically, I input the Vectara API, open API spec to Claude, and then I told them that, oh, for this particular demo, I want to do this thing, right? And within a few minutes, it had spit the demo out for me where it was using Vectara in the backend, but on the front end, it built the use case that they wanted.
Interesting, interesting. So basically, you didn't do much other than here's the document, here's the requirement, and then Claude, you figure out what am I going to demonstrate to the user.
Exactly, yes. And
Wow.
I'll give you another example. So we recently have like 4 or 5 job positions open, and then there are so many applicants, right? Of course, I review some of them manually, but in this case also I dumped them all into an agent. I gave it my preferences, what I prefer, and it spit out the top 20 that fit my criteria more. Instead of like going through 1,000 resumes manually, which these days it's insane how many applicants you have. So those kind of stuff, like, it's not just coding, it's a ton of other stuff as well.
Interesting. So as a CEO, you are doing those, you didn't do the resume screening, you didn't do the sales engineering job, but as a CEO, now you do resume screening and you do sales engineering job. So you are full stack CEO at this point.
Yeah. As my background is engineering, I do want to be hands-on, and the more I use these things, I also feel comfortable, right? That what level is AI at? So when I speak, I know what I'm talking about because I have experiences firsthand instead of reading about where AI is.
Mm, 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 mm. Got it. So yeah, speaking of where AI is, what's your view? Like, a few months ago, you started realizing the coding agent is like surprisingly good, right? Must have given you the wow moment. And can you share with us about how's your engineering doing? Are they none of them are writing code anymore? They're only reviewing code, or what's the current state?
Yeah, so for engineering, especially like our senior folks, they are way more productive and they do not touch code directly anymore. They actually specify what they want, and we have a huge backend code base. And then the agents are amazing at producing pull requests. We got to a level where in Slack we have integrated everything, and when a new feature request comes in, our engineer they just tell inside the inside Slack thread that this is what I want. Can you send me a pull request? And the agent behind the scene goes, produces everything, sends a link to the pull request inside Slack, and then we just go and review it. As a first step, we are also adding AI to review that code. But when then we manually check that it's doing what we want and what not. Like now, when you have more complicated use cases, it's not that simple. But for the majority things that come in day in, like the sales folk run into a bug or something, it just solves it like that. So for us, it's more like like this pipeline that we're building now is basically you should just have to specify what you want and how you want it done. At the same time, it's not something you just leave it. You still need to look at the code that it did the right thing. It has the ability not just to hallucinate, but sometimes it produces code that's like way too much. Like it's gonna easily slop to a huge code base, which is hard to maintain. So we do have another iteration where we keep on refactoring as well. But that's how we do now.
Interesting. So we talked about full stack CEO. We talked about engineering pretty much becoming the reviewers only. What about your marketing, sales, or HR, or whatever other functions? Do you see them AI native, or you feel like okay, they're getting to that? It will take a while because they are not technical. It's a natural progress they have to go through. What's your assessment?
Yeah, I think our engineering team picked up AI way faster, but it's very good to see how marketing and sales is picking up as well. I think marketing picked it up as well, but the kind of stuff that AI was producing wasn't great, to be honest. Even we started doing even image generation for a lot of our marketing, but it didn't hit the mark. It still felt not authentic. But now it's getting there. So the marketing for and then also producing content in marketing, it felt like it doesn't have a soul basically, right? But now it's getting more and more that way. Outreach we tried as well. It wasn't there yet. So we're kind of doing some manual stuff as well. For sales folks, especially like presenting, like preparing presentations, decks, those kind of stuff. Now it's speeding up significantly. So they are getting there as well, definitely.
So from that point of view, when do you think that they will be, the no engineers will be AI native?
So I think one thing I think is like sales is also a lot of personal touch. So I don't think it's gonna be completely replacing that. But they are. I think in the next 6 months to 1 year, they're gonna be starting with AI basically. But I don't see them getting replaced. So on the kind of human to human relationships we need to make for sales, yeah, that's gonna be that.
Right, 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 right. So the fact that you have been engineers yourself, it gives you some advantage in thinking through, technology maturity as well, right? That's actually pretty nice. And then your background was, knowledge graph, that's kind of that made it easier for you. Um, can we talk about Vectera? Because, you were a co-founder of the company from the very beginning. You were a software engineer at Google. Why did you even start Vectera? Because you started a company 2020, right? That's before ChatGPT moment. Actually, I think it's before GPT moment because from my point of view, GPT-3 was probably one of the biggest milestones out there. But you started a company even before that. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so that's a good one. So what happened was when we were at Google, so Google invented transformers,
Yeah,
and then one of the initial models that they released was BERT. They used BERT in Google search, right? And everybody saw how tremendously it increased the search quality for Google.
yeah,
And that's why when we thought that these models, they're not just for companies like Google to use, any enterprise should be able to use them to improve their AI workflows, but search in specifically, right? And the other thing is like these models, they are very expensive to train, but they're not that expensive to run, right? So any enterprise can, if the use case is not like very high QPS, you can put like 4 or 5 GPUs and then run this model, right? So that was a thesis of the company, that how can we bring the power of these transformer models to all enterprises? That's why this was even before GPT released. And the thesis in the beginning was how do you use them for search specifically, right? Using neural search, vector databases, combine them with keyword-based search, how to merge the results, neural re-ranking, all that kind of stuff we built from scratch, and that's what the thesis of the company was. And then, like you said, when ChatGPT came out, this blew the market off. Before that, we used to tell people that, no, this is why these models and this technology is great. After that, companies will come to us and say, okay, what can we do basically with this technology, right? So with ChatGPT came out, we combined the GPT part, the generative part with the retrieval part, and that's where RAG was born. So we were one of the first players that had RAG, basically, because you combine retrieval with generative, that's RAG. So that was the thesis of the company.
So, so the large language model breakthrough was a surprise to you, at least, it wasn't expected, or what was in your mind?
No, we definitely were expecting this technology to go big because it was like a magic moment when the first time we saw it, right? Like even before ChatGPT, like the models were multilingual out of the box.
Yeah.
And they were cross-lingual as well. Like if your documents were let's say in Chinese, your question was in English, it could still pull out the documents. And seeing that at runtime, I mean that was amazing. Like when we showed customers, they would say, "Oh, do you do translation somewhere?" And it's like, no. The
So
models
you mean
they
even for your initial product, or
Yes, just for search, yes.
Google or Vectera?
No, Vectara.
Really? You mean this is the beginning, and then that was, did you use GPT technology initially?
So they were transformer-based models. So they were use QA and models like that. Those are the ones that we used initially, and they were multilingual, cross-lingual. They could go like queries in one language, documents in another language. It operate across as well. But that was
Right,
just for search, right?
right, 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 right. Interesting. Um, that was 2020, 2020, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And early this year, actually that's about the time I met you a few months ago, you became the CEO of the company, not just the founder and then chief architect. Um, what what's the kind of a how's going with the new sort of a responsibility?
Yeah, it's both exciting and like a new challenge. It's very different than just doing engineering. Even though before I took over, I was involved with field engineering and sales a lot, but this is something else, right? So I do see it as a new challenge. So far, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I have a very good team that makes my life much easier. But it's very different than just simple engineering. So we have a plan how to do the increase the outbound, the marketing, the sales, how to improve that into the platform itself. So far, so good.
So, I have a couple of questions, somewhat unrelated to Vectera. Just in general, AI is so good, and when you do hiring, what are you looking for? Like, or you are not hiring at all because of AI. So,
Yeah, I think we're still a few steps from not needing to hire anymore. So we do have multiple positions open from engineering to product to sales. So I don't think it's at a place where we don't want hiring, but the people have gotten way more productive due to AI. So where we would have needed like 10 people, we need much less. But also where that new feature request would have taken like a month, now they just take a few hours or a day to just do, right? So now on the engineering side, the more focus is how do you release these uh, at such a, like the features are being implemented at such a high pace. How do you make sure you're not breaking stuff? Especially we have like a lot of on-prem customers as well. So how do
So
you do
maybe I
that?
just be explicit. Um, the the kind of the people you are hiring, right, whether product or any roles, but because of the AI era, what sort of the different characteristics are you looking for?
Yeah, so one of the biggest question we ask them is, do you use AI or not, right? If somebody is not already using AI, that's a huge negative flag. We don't.
Everyone's using AI to a degree, right? You know, ChatGPT or whatnot. What do you mean by are they using? Are you looking for the sophistication level?
Yeah, so like for example, if we are doing a technical interview for engineering, they need to show us how do they use AI to even write the code, basically, right? We go
Right.
to that level. So people can claim they do X, Y, Z, but no, they need to show us what exactly. And what, in those discussions, you can clearly see that whether they have used AI or not in a productive manner to streamline their day-to-day job.
Mm, 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 mm. So basically, you're saying that, you know, you need to demonstrate it to me that you have used AI in your current job in a, you know, somewhat sophisticated way. Otherwise, I'm not going to hire you. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Right, right, right. That's actually very good. That's a very good validation of one of the thesis or one of the things I've been telling people around me. You know, people are saying, hey, with AI, my job may be gone or maybe not, but what am I going to do? You know, I told them, look, you know, resisting it is not an option. Embracing it, you know, you may still lose your job in the current, you know, work or whatnot for, because there are so many different contexts, right? There are so many things going on. However, resisting it, you're going to be a loser, and then embracing it, even if you lose your current job for one reason or another, maybe may never have to do with AI, but still you may lose it. You are much better off for your next job, anyways, right? So why not embracing it? So that you know, thanks for that validation. My last question though, for younger generation, well, people are still, I don't know, do you have, you know, K through 12 kids at home? But you know, there are kids, you know, K through 12 or maybe in the college. Um, you know, what's your advice to them?
Yeah, this is pretty difficult, but I think the main advice is that especially people who are in college, they should exactly embrace AI as well. They should learn how they can use that to their advantage. Plus, they should try to be multiple disciplines, right? Just focusing on one is not enough. You need to be good at multiple. You need to be okay with being agile, where you jump from one to the other, and ideas and execution become much easier. So now you should have more of those versus somebody, like just following, telling you this, and then you just go and do that. That AI will be able to do. So you should be more like at high level ideas and be agile. Like today you're doing one thing, tomorrow you might do something completely different. But AI is there to help you, so you will be able to do that. So just stay focused on that. I think a lot of people also say you should have entrepreneurial mindset. For me, it's more like you should be agile. If you're agile, you can do entrepreneurs today. Tomorrow you do something else. It should be okay.
Yeah, agile or these days agency might be a more popular
Yeah,
word, but
exactly.
more or less similar thing, right? You know, I hired a few people in the recent past. You know, I told a recruiter my number one requirement. I wouldn't say requirement, but number one desired requirement is they need to be ideally they have the founder experience on the resume. Because if you have a founder on the resume, then it's more likely to be agile, to have the agency, to be flexible. So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm glad that, we actually think alike on a lot of those topics. Hey, congratulations for your new responsibility. But this is a journey you have gone through for what, 6 years.
Yes.
Given the sort of the product, the uniqueness you mentioned earlier, right? And the the funding you have got, I think you're in a pretty good spot. And one thing I would say as a whether potential customer or people in the industry, we've been talking about agents for a long time, right? Even starting from what 2023, but I think at this point it's a lot more real now. Finally, people are building agents, truly left and right, and not just as a toy, but also to think about how do I transform my business. So you are in a very good spot from that point of view. Of course, there are 20,000 agent platform. You do have uniqueness, but
Yes.
I wish you good luck, and would love to talk to you soon, and then figure out the progress you have under the AI native CEO.
I appreciate that, Howie. Thanks a lot for the invitation for this.